Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine carries all the gear you'll need, from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle, bait, and more. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new motor and the best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine has certified technicians, some of the best in the industry at evaluating your boat issues and any problems. Defiance Marine has boat financing experts on staff to help you get the best term and rates on your new boat purchase. If you need financing for a new boat, call or stop by and see them today. Defiance Marine is your one and only stop to help you get out on the water.
Cutbacks in funding and fewer law enforcement resources are affecting our businesses and communities. If your business is feeling the effects, Phoenix Protective may be the solution you are looking for. They offer security solutions customized to meet your needs. From remote video monitoring in their 24-hour control center to a proactive, experienced security professional on site, Phoenix Protective has over 20 years experience in ensuring the safety of their customers. Team members are highly trained and proactive, giving them the ability to adjust to the changing needs of their customers. Customers choose to work with Phoenix Protective because they provide the next level in security support to industries such as schools, hospitals, transit, and utilities. For a security assessment to see how Phoenix Protective can help you and your business, visit their website at www.phoenixprotectivecorp.com and select Contact.
We
got a ballistic solution app on my
Tuna grounds are on the ocean, Tommy. We're going to do that. Don't go anywhere.
We've got all the great fish that make great fish and chips.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Wayne England and Tommy O'Donnell.
That's right.
That's right, it is St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Wearing your best of green as you are. Tommy O'Donnell. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. It's good to be back in the seat.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yep.
You were off kind of doing your thing, so.
Yep, had a nice family vacation down in Hawaii.
Fantastic.
Got Junior on his first fish.
You got a little tan going on.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with this underneath this green shirt, but it's happening.
We'll keep that tan underneath that green shirt. So for tonight's
we'll save
show.
that for later.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, I want to welcome everybody into the studio tonight. We are live from the studios here at Fish on Northwest on the shores of Summit Lake, located in Olympia, Washington. Tommy and I are bringing you the latest and everything going on and relevant in all that is fishing and hunting. So if you are new to the show tonight, appreciate you logging in and sit back and enjoy. We got a lot of content to cover, Tommy. As you had mentioned, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been in here.
Yes, indeed. We got plenty of opportunity, too.
Oh, man. So lots going on. We'll be getting into that here shortly. I want to remind everybody, go and jump on over to our webpage, if you would, www.fishhuntnw.com, and check out a lot of the things we have going there. Got some blogs happening. You can get to all our video. And really, actually, you can access all of our social media from our webpage. So that's pretty convenient. Sign on. Be a subscriber. Get emails and updates from us when relevant. Also, check out the online store. Shing does a great job with a lot of the swag and the merchandise that we sell there online, shipped directly to you. Speaking of which, tonight's a special event, Tommy. We got St. Patrick's Day, giving away the green, as we put it, right?
Yes, we are.
Everything seated next to you in the seat is all green swag and merchandise. Going to be giving away merchandise each and every commercial break. So when we get out here for a break, going to throw up a little contest opportunity for people tuning in. You're going to want to stay tuned throughout the entire show because the swag is good all the way through the end. Every commercial break, giving away hoodies, sweatshirt, or I guess that's the same thing. Hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve tees, hats, beanies, what have you. Giving stuff away every break. So stick around for that, and we'll get you some items coming your way for absolutely free. Doing nothing more than sitting here and watching us and inviting your friends. Let's blow this up tonight. Invite your friends, come join us here in studio for the great content and the giveaways.
Andrew's a little disappointed you're not giving away a vest. Is there I don't think there's a vest over here.
No, because those are all spoken for. It's a high dollar item, and only people who can afford them have them. So,
that's why I don't have one.
Paxan Andy, right? So anyway, he loves the vest. I wear it every week just to spite him. That's how this works. All right. Hey, Tommy, did you hear the latest Marine Area 10? What a little golden ticket that is.
I know. Phenomenal, huh? I thought that thing would, we were wondering, like, is it going to reopen?
Is it going to peter out? Or are we done? Did we hit the quota? Did we get, that sub-legal encounter? Did it, push one of the bean counters over the rail? So,
right.
But that is not the case. We actually get it all the way through March 31st, which was the target date to begin with. But the biggest change in that is open 7 days a week versus 3, and a 2-fish limit.
How about that?
The only thing I did not throw in there that would equal it to Area 13 is a 2-rod endorsement.
That's right. That's right. I'll take this, though.
Come on, WDFW. Let's get
all day.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. There's still some decent fishing to be had. I think one of the things we're looking at is the pressure's been substantially less since Sekiu's been fishing. Pretty hot, off
it's
and
been phenomenal.
on, but it's been good overall.
I mean, it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But Area 10 open 7 days a week, 2-fish limit, hatchery mark select. Go get your fish. You got to the end of March.
Yeah,
that's pretty fantastic. Our buddy Matt Messing is booking trips, obviously, and for good reason. And he'll get you on the fish. If anybody's going to, he was out there fishing for a couple days when he had no electronics.
Yeah,
he had a little issue there on
his power supply.
Power supply.
Yep.
And so got that resolved. He's back up and running, but he was getting fish just going fishing by braille.
Doing blind. That's awesome. That's
fishing
awesome.
by braille, bounce bottom and come up a couple cranks.
And we are going to talk Sekiu tonight. We got a hot report that came in right before the show started. Sam Rutledge, he wants everybody to know that it's on fire. He limited out today. Just phenomenal.
Did he want everybody to know that?
He did. Or was it Chad?
Yeah, it was Chad.
Was it Chad?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Sam was actually asking that we give a report that it's kind of
contrary to the... Oh, I see. I screwed that up.
I would like to go on record. The gentleman to my right is the one who threw all that out there, Sam.
I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
My fault. You did well.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of salmon, and salmon by the numbers, Tommy, we have some opportunities coming up here. Obviously, they've started the North of Falcon process, and in doing so, they kind of lay all the cards out on the table, right?
Yeah.
And they start kind of forming these opportunities or these fisheries and these opportunities based on numbers. All comes down to numbers, doesn't it? So here you go. Yep, the one a lot of people anticipate is the 3 options. We always get 3 options for the ocean fisheries. Our 4 ocean areas, we get 3 options, and we collectively need to put it out there, say, we want this option because this bodes well for everybody, and then they weigh in and ultimately they decide. Typically, they put option 1 on the table. It tends to seem to always go towards option 1. More times than not.
Yeah.
It seems to.
I'm just glad that, these options are, these are a hell of a lot nicer than we get on that we've gotten in past years.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of years, I don't like any of the options, right?
Yeah.
But, as we dive into these options, option 1 and 2 are phenomenal. And so here's option 1. Yeah. Option 1, 32,500 Chinook, 176,400 mark coho. Okay, that's what they would allow us to fish on.
Yeah.
And check this out. So this is for marine areas 1 through 4, right? The whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
You can have Chinook and hatchery coho, hatchery only, and it would start June 18th. So it's bringing back that, that early fishery that we used to get and reenacting that. And it would go all the way until September 30th. And check this out. For all 4 of those marine areas, 7 days a week.
7 days a week, all the way through. Dates, as far as the length of season, dates we haven't seen in quite some time.
Right.
The other interesting thing here that we have that really supports the opportunity to not get shut down early would be this abundance of coho that's coming. Because you and I have talked about it in the past, and season after season, here we are. We got a pretty decent Chinook opportunity. We never meet the quota. We never get there. We get shut down early because the impacts on the coho with low coho numbers.
Right. That's right. You know, and then, you know, Westport is always plagued by this conflict between, you know, the Charter Boat Association and, you know, the sport fishermen with quote unquote kicker boats, right?
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh, we can't have a 7-day-a-week season because, oh, we'd catch the quota and be over, right? And it never happens.
Yep.
But we have the numbers now that absolutely support a 7-day-a-week season in Westport.
We've been talking about the ocean conditions for the better part of a year going into this, and 6 months ago we were mentioning ocean conditions. It's been on the minds of many, and those that start forecasting and doing the pre-surveys and, you know, little propellers spinning on the head and put all the numbers together. The cold water upwelling and the abundance of food source out in the ocean, the forage fish, everything's back to a normal playing field. We'll get into it later in the season as it tends to possibly keep the tuna off a little further off the coast. But for salmon conditions and this return we're seeing here, this is one that folks need to take advantage of. And I'm excited about the fact that I really hope this materializes. I hope we can get through that full Chinook quota without getting shut down early because of the impacts on coho.
Right. I hope so too. But on the other hand, there is a lot of coho to be caught too. So, I mean, it's looking pretty healthy from my angle. The other thing that I would say, you know, you mentioned ocean conditions, and they are looking phenomenal, like they were last year. You know, the interesting thing is when you go back and you look at, you know, when did we have those banner tuna years, like those years where, you know, you would go out and you would average like well above 25 tuna per trip, right? Yeah. You know, that kind of that 2007 to 2012 time frame. I mean, and it was even really good after, you know, from 2012 to, I don't know, 2016, and then it kind of went on a roller coaster ride for tuna. But if you look at those years, 2007 to 2012, the ocean conditions are very similar to what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, healthy number of copepods in the water, right? You know, good plankton count, really nice cool waters, both on the surface and at depth. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if, not only do we have a banner salmon season lined up and upcoming, but I'm really thinking that the conditions are right for tuna. Yeah. The thing that we need to see, though, is we need to see that population of anchovies kick back off the coast, which we didn't see last year.
That was a struggle, not just for the nutrient source in the ocean that we need, right, for those fish, but also as far as recreational anglers being shut down with the opportunity to get live bait to go fishing. It was dead bait fish unless you were a charter.
Right.
And we certainly don't want to see that again.
Right?
We
do not
want to see that again. So, you know, the only confliction, the only thing that kind of arose here the last couple of days is we have different represented groups within our recreational and commercial industries of fishing in the Pacific Northwest. And at times these groups, you know, they eat each other. And it's like we're all trying to work towards achieving goals of salmon recovery and opportunity. And we want as much opportunity on the water as we can, which is secondary to, I mean, we get that as long as we have ample returns. And this salmon forecast is one of those seasons where we should see pretty good opportunity. But we're running into an issue here that Buoy 10 fishery is becoming so popular. And just when you think there can't possibly any more boats fit into Buoy 10, they stuff a few more in and more people are coming in. More guides are running charter business out of there. A lot of them are going to Oregon to get their charter license because they're
they have to go to Oregon because it's unregulated.
Thank you. Yes. Right. And so you're getting folks from other states.
Montana, Idaho, California.
Northern California, Idaho. So, which, you know, hey, it's a wide open fishery, and these guys and gals have a right to try and earn their living, and with the tight windows of opportunity and fisheries that we have in some regards, they're just trying to make sure they travel and go to where the fish are for the window of opportunity. I get that, right? Because that is their line of work. A lot of them have been doing it for years, and they're trying to do that. But now we have this infighting between different organizations that are looking at this ocean forecast and this option 1, option 2, option 3 that's on the table. They're going time out. That's real great, but we want to take a percentage of these fish from the ocean opportunity and move them in river.
Right.
We're feeling like you don't need 32,500 Chinook, and I don't know what the number is, but let's say they go, we're thinking you need more like 25,000, right? That's your ocean quota under option 1 because we want 10,000 of those fish to be available for when they get to that lower Columbia River. Right. So we can have a wide open fishery. Maybe we get out of Mark Select opportunity. Maybe we get more than 20 days. There's this whole balancing act and you know, trading going on. I'm going, Well, if you felt like the amount of fish taken by a number, because let's face it, the guide influx to Buoy 10
is unreal.
Is just gone tenfold.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys and gals, they're earning their living, and it's feast or famine. And this portion of the year, August, is absolute feast. So if they have the ability and the willingness to run 2 trips a day,
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it,
right?
Because if you have opportunity to make money, you're going to make money, and you're going to take people out, expose them to the fishery, get them their fish, and that's just kind of the way it works. They're running a business. I get it. So that's their side of it. It has had a huge impact on the tulies getting taken. It's no longer catch a fish, it's a tule, throw it back, we can get you an upriver bright. There's not a lot of high grading going on. Yeah. We're taking them, we're whacking them. Bill Monroe Jr., who has been an advocate for this as far as, be a little more selective, let's get deeper into the season. We're going to have our good buddy Bill on next week when we start talking about springers, but just is one who has been an advocate for the tule fishery and trying to do the right thing. He's voiced his opinion to many guides down there, right? And I give him credit for that. But so what's happening? Well, they want to see this shift because they want to have a bigger number in river. Those that focus on that ocean opportunity, they're not having it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and it's really to accommodate this excessive number of guides. Again, it's only from the Oregon side. This is not possible on the Washington side. The Washington side is capped.
Correct.
Okay.
No more guides.
And so it's really a problem that's originating from Oregon, right? And I mean, I look at it the same as any other opportunity. You can't just say it's a free for all, right? It's not an unlimited. If I want to go be a salmon charter out of Westport, or Nia Bay or wherever on the saltwater, it doesn't really matter. If I'm fishing for a salmonoid, the other rule is even if I'm not fishing salmon, say I'm fishing tuna, I still have to have a 6-pole license, right? Yeah. Okay, well, you know what I have to pay in order to run that operation on the saltwater? It's 40 grand. It's 50 grand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a free for all. If I want to go out there and I want to charter on the saltwater, I got to buy somebody else out or I got to lease their permit so that I can go run a charter business.
Yeah.
That's not the case in the Columbia River, especially on the Oregon side.
No. So I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, part of me also in phone conversation with a couple of folks today, I go, well, this is one that could possibly go back to PFMC, and they go, well, what's Canada's take on this whole thing? Why are we producing all these tulies? Because when they turn the corner up there to Vancouver, it's a legitimate commercial whack and stack, high grade fish that they're pulling out of the ocean, right? So what is their percentage of take? If we need more fish down here around the corner out in the ocean and as they enter into the Columbia, because our impact on the fishery has more participants, then either we got 3 options. You produce more fish, right? You begin some limiting factors out of Oregon to curtail some of this and make it a more equitable share amongst ocean and river, or you meet with Canada and say, hey, we need a little bigger percentage of our fish back. Yeah. And I don't know where this is going to land, but again, it just kind of bursted onto the scene here last couple days. We were going to cover the ocean deal, and I'm kind of going, there's a little thing kind of over off to the side that some folks are paying attention to. Others are like, it's not that big a deal. It is a big deal. Yeah. We're going to be curious to see where this lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Okay, before we get out of here, we're gonna pop that NOF meeting schedule towards the end of the show, Tommy. And saying that, so before we get out of here, we're gonna run down the show. We got a heck of a show lined up here with some excellent conversations coming. Tom Burlingame is back and willing to talk. We haven't had on the show, I think, since last year.
Yeah, Tommy, I know.
But XL Fishing Charters, Sekiu Blackmouth, and of course, bottom fish, Lingcod opportunity. How's it going? Tom's going to fill us in on really what's happening out there and why you should consider making the trip. Then, first time to the show, Thomas Morgan Stinson. He is actually the CFO, the Certified Financial Officer for WDFW. Why is it important to get him on? There's a number of things that passed through legislation this year that gives WDFW a healthy sum of money. What they're going to do with that money and how it benefits the recreational community is extremely important, and one we're going to have him break down. Don't go anywhere when we start talking with Morgan. This is information you folks are definitely going to want to hear. Then we're going to jump to our video premiere of our Roosevelt Triploid trip with buddy Troy Black. Matt Messing joined me over there, Tommy. because you were in the sunshine and we were in the 29 degrees catching triploids. So,
yes, indeed.
It was a fantastic trip. You guys will be impressed with the quality of these fish and also Troy's method to go find success. All the details in the video later in the show. Then we'll be closing out the show with some additional salmon numbers, but we're also going to jump to one of our little tutorials that we've been putting together. A little library of Raymarine tutorials with none other than the beefcake himself, Mike Surdick.
Mr. Mike Surdick, who's not, you know, he is on his own weight loss journey, and he is looking really good too.
He is.
Yep.
I was not aware.
I say that in a I say that in a respectful way.
Yes, you did. Yeah. No other way to deliver it than the way you just delivered right now. So we'll close out the show with that. Great little library of tutorials we are creating with Mike Surdick. If you're a Raymarine owner, there are plenty of little tidbits that you'll pick up on these quick little 4 and 5 minute tutorials. If you are not a Raymarine owner, you will be after you watch these, because the abilities of these electronics is second to none. All right, we are going to jump out for a quick break, but before we do, we have giveaway number 1. Tommy, so pay attention. Jordan, folks, we are looking for a number between 1 and 100. First one that comes up on the screen that matches the number on our page. Numbers between 1 and 100, you're going to get awarded a hoodie with the Crest logo. We have sizes medium, large, and extra large. Nope, that's the far one over there up on the right with the Crest logo. Yep. Paul, number 17. Yes, you nailed it. Go figure. March 17th, happy St. Patrick's Day. So you're right. We started with number 17. Paul. Cool. Fantastic. Want you to message us either here on YouTube or our Facebook page. Message us up. We need your full name, address, and phone number, please, so we can give you a call. Well done. Plenty more gifts to give away each and every commercial break as we get through the evening here. We're going to jump out for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have Tom Burlingame on the phone giving us all the details of what's going on out there at Sekiu, Blackmouth fishing, and more right here when we come back. Fish on Northwest.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you toward living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professionals to interpret your needs and help you find the home in which to live your dream. Through every stage of your home buying or selling process, and through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Hi, this is Joe and Megan from Archery World. We have 4 store locations. We are at the Lacey location right now. I just want to highlight some of our camping gear. We have Mystery Ranch packs. We also have trekking poles. We have crispy boots. We have 6-hour optics. We carry Havalon knives. We carry Garmin products as well. So it's not just archery. We want to try to make this one-stop shopping for you guys. And so if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
Hey, welcome back, Fish Hunt Northwest. Dwayne England and Tommy O'Donnell here on St. Patrick's night.
You know, Donlan is Irish, right? You
I know.
You don't have to add the O.
I do add the O, though. It sounds even more Irish. But just for tonight, you're O'Donnell.
Fair enough.
This is Over the Rail, presented by Defiance Marine. Check out everything they got going on out there at Defiance Marine. Our guest tonight, Tom Burlingame, XL Fishing Charters out of Sekiu. Welcome to the show, Tom. It's been a year or so. How you been?
Just fine. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Sekiu's been kind of a hot topic lately. One thing I want to get to right away is, there's a lot of different conversations happening just in regards to getting out there with the somewhat of a road closure and the detour. What can you tell folks? What can they expect if they're hauling their boat on out there as far as just getting to Sekiu to enjoy a day of fishing?
Yeah, for those that are familiar with Clawlin Bay and Sekiu, the major slide that we had was just on the east of the Breakwater restaurant, and so the main road 112 is closed, and you'll have to take a short detour. I would say to expect to add about 15 minutes to your trip, and that'll detour you right as you come into town. There's a little deli there, the Hess Mart, and you're going to go up the hill towards the prison and down a logging road. It isn't a paved road; it's a dirt road, but they're doing a good job of maintaining it, or as good as they can. And there is a spot where there are flaggers. It's a one way there, and if the flaggers aren't there, there's a light that adds a little more time when the lights are on. When the flaggers are there, it's really efficient. But it's not a big deal. It's easy to do. You just go slow, and you'll get through it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing compared to the road between Sekiu and Nia Bay. So, even when it's paved.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that Blackmouth bite, so Sekiu opened up the beginning of the month, and right out of the gate, it was like an unreal, phenomenal bite. Like you couldn't put a line in the water without getting bit. How's it going now? Like as the season's progressed, what are you seeing, and how are those fish acting?
Well, the main thing right now is you're not seeing as many pictures on Facebook and stuff right now because there just isn't that many people fishing. There was a handful of boats out today. Now, it was blowing east, and we've had a lot of easterlies lately, and that isn't the best for Sekiu. That's the worst wind you can have for Sekiu, that east wind. And so the catching has slowed down a little bit. But there's still fish to be had. The guys that have got it figured out are still bringing in limits or near limits daily.
Well, I definitely have my go-tos for Blackmouth. Tommy has an array of options that he favors. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, Tom, what is it? Bait, hardware? What's kind of your go-to, and maybe some colors? Some patterns that, are proven warriors time and time again, hopefully get it done.
Right. I'm a hardware guy, but I don't fish a lot of bait, but I will say that my friends that are fishing bait are doing fine. And it's the same old drill. Herring aid spoons, greens, purples, seem to be working really well. The one thing that I could tell somebody right now that is going to help them right now is to fish deeper than you normally do. I mean, most Blackmouth fishermen are fishing water from 100 to 140 feet. That bait has moved deeper, and the guys that have been real successful in the last week or so have been fishing the bottom from about 200 to 250 feet of water. So you got to have you got to have some cable, but that's where the bait is, and that's where they're getting them.
Now, I know, Tom, you're used to fishing, deep water. I mean, you and I have fished side by side many, many times. Talk a little bit about your downrigger setup. So in order to hit that, that deep spot, 200 plus, 300 plus, are you running 2 riggers, 3 riggers? And what's your approach in terms of like the weight of that downrigger ball? Like what's your presentation look like?
If I get much deeper than 150 feet, Tommy, I have to take a downrigger out of the presentation because I can't keep them apart.
Yeah.
On my and I've got a wide boat, right? I got an old Uniflight almost 11 feet wide. And if I'm fishing 100 feet, I can slip 3 in there and do just fine. But when you get that deep, even with 20-pound balls, it's just hard to keep. You're better off just fishing the two riggers and keeping the gear apart. You fish a lot more efficiently and spend a lot less time on tangling.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's that oftentimes is the key to finding success, is not spending so much time out of the water and just keep fighting those currents. And I'm with you. You start going deeper, man, it just becomes a zoo. So one thing before we get off of hardware, Tom, you a scent guy? You put anything on flasher spoons or anything? You just run everything naked and just let the fish find it?
I'm pretty basic. But blackmouth fishing is the one thing that I use scent on.
Okay.
Most of my ocean fishing, when I'm pulling spoons out there, if I'm out at Swiftsure in the summer, I'm not using much scent. But for some reason, blackmouth fishing, I am a scent guy. It goes back to the days when we used to have that Berkeley gulp in the material and tipping our hoochies with it in Puget Sound, and it just seemed like the bite was so much better. So I'm still using scent, and I'm not real picky on which scent I use, but I still do like a little scent when I'm fishing blackmouth.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you talked about the water depth, Tom, and the bait kind of moving out into the deeper water. I'm curious. So if you're finding that bait, are you still fishing on the deck, on the bottom? Are you fishing suspended? Like, where are you seeing these fish in the water column?
Most of the catching is going on in the bottom 10 feet. So you want to be on the deck, I believe, for the blackmouth. That's where most of the catching is going on. You'll get an occasional fish up in the water column, but if you've only got 2 lines down there and you're running that deep water, have them as close to the bottom as you can.
Well, at the break, as we pulled you on here, Tom, you were talking about today actually went out, turned the corner, and we're out after bottom fish. So let's talk a little bit about that bottom fish opportunity, some rockfish, some lingcod. How's the season started off for you?
It started really well. We haven't spent a lot of time in the ocean just because the weather the last week has been really crummy on the ocean. But the great thing about Sekiu and Nia Bay is that you can fish the strait, especially this time of year. There's plenty of lingcod to be caught. It's been pretty easy limits all week for us. We haven't had a day where we've missed a fish, and it seems to me that the lingcod are a little easier to get than the black rockfish. But they're there too. You can catch them.
Isn't that's a good problem to have,
It is.
But there, I tell you, it's funny, Tom, you mentioned that. There's no fish that can test my patience like a black rockfish. Because you write them off, you're right. It's like, it's a rockfish, right? I should be able to go out and get them. And then when those are the fish that are hardest to catch, and then, you're releasing ling after ling after ling.
To get your rockfish
limit. You're just kicking yourself. Yeah. You feel like a failure.
And then other days you go out there, it's like, I only need my 2 lingcod. Can we just get these and get done?
Right.
Stupid rockfish, get off of here, right? So,
What's really aggravating is, and I'm sure you've done it, both of you, is you catch those lingcod quick, like the fishing has been the last week, and you need 3 more rockfish or 5 more rockfish, and of course you know what you catch when you're fishing for that last rockfish.
Absolutely.
The biggest lingcod of the day.
Right. Yep. Back.
Yep.
That's right.
Oh well, it was fun. Hey, for folks maybe venturing out there for a first time, Tom, and they're looking on their electronics, or maybe they're trying to use landmarks or something, give a little insight as to where you can definitely, figure out if you're between areas 4 and 5 as you turn that corner.
So the line is at the Sekiu River, but in reality, there's a few spots between the Sekiu River and Sail and Seal Rock, just east of Nia Bay. There's Sail and Seal Rock. They're real obvious to fish, but if I were going the first time and I was running out of Sekiu, I would definitely run clear to Sail and Seal before I even started looking.
That's a good call.
Yeah, because there's a lot of water in between the Sekiu River and Sail and Seal Rock, and there's very little of it that's real productive for especially the black rockfish. And so run clear up there. And start there, and you nailed it. Fish and bottom fish, you want to use your electronics. They are so so important. Those rockfish can't hide when you're fishing the rockfish. You'll see a pinnacle, and you'll see the arcs right over the top of the pinnacle. They just can't hide, and you don't want to spend a lot of time fishing where you're not seeing fish on your electronics.
Good point.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I've learned over the years is you just, it's not a go to a waypoint fishery and you just start fishing, right?
Right.
That's not how it works. You have to, I don't drop unless I'm seeing them on the sonar. Sounds like, Tom, you take the same approach. I was curious, in terms of depth of water, as the season progresses and ebbs and flows, are you ever kind of changing up the lines that you're running, maybe going to some deeper areas or some shallower areas, like trying to find them back in Macaw Bay, or maybe going to a deeper water spot?
Well, this time of year, with the 20 fathom line not being in effect in the ocean, it still is in effect in the Strait. So if you do come out and the ocean's rough and you fish between Cartouche and Sail and Seal Rock there, you want to stay in shallower water than 120 feet, because that line never changes. It is always in effect. But in the ocean, you have some other, you can go deeper, and there's some spots out beyond Cartouche or the Bass Hole and a few spots like that are deeper. But if I were at it first time, I would stick around Macaw Bay and a little shallower. It's a little easier to fish. You don't have to back into it. Usually the drift isn't that bad, and you can make 4 ounces work just fine.
Perfect. Well, hey, what do you got for coming up for openings and opportunities? And then, looking down the road, you're going to have halibut opportunity and whatnot. So you got room for folks to book trips with you?
We have a few dates available with room for 2 or a single person, and I think I got 1 day with the whole season with an open boat. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, no kidding. Good for you.
But if you we do have a few days available, so I would encourage somebody to call.
Perfect. Best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me is just to either email me at our website, which is xlfishingcharters.com, and there's a email icon there, a contact us icon that you can hit and send me a message, or just give us a call at 360-374-2225.
Fantastic. Always a pleasure, Tom. You always come with great, solid information and stuff that folks can rely on. So,
yeah, look forward to seeing you up there.
Absolutely. So,
all right.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy the water, and hopefully the wind dies down for you a little bit, and you can get back out there and get it done. Good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
All right.
Yeah, let me get this here. There we go, Tom Burlingame. XL Fishing Charters, look him up, www.xlfishingcharters.com. Tom is just a gem of a man, and just one
of the nicest guys you'll ever meet on the water.
Just absolutely going to enjoy the day out there with him, and he's been doing it for so long, Tommy.
He has.
As you know, you're going to get a treat of a day with a guy like him. He's just fantastic. So,
and a great salmon fisherman too.
And a great salmon fisherman as well. Yes, he definitely knows how to get it done. Okay, as we move through here, we are going to jump out for a break. But before we do, we got another giveaway. Before the break, we got a camo hat or a beanie. We got a couple variations of camo hats, right? The new lids that Shing got put together there. A couple variations in camel. Those were blowing off the shelf there at the Sportsman Show, Tommy.
Yeah, they were.
And the beanie is, we still got time to wear that beanie. The mornings are still a little chilly.
That's right, yes it is.
Yeah, I'll be wearing one of those tomorrow when I'm springer fishing. Actually, just sitting, waiting for a springer. I don't know if it's really fish. So,
that's too early for that.
Anyway, number between 1 and 100. 1 and 100. We're going to see the number here, and we'll say it. We'll go to break. We'll confirm we got the right person between the different platforms that we have. We'll come back and announce the winner after the break. But as soon as we see the number, we'll kick out the break. Number between 1 and 100.
And if anybody wonders like how we do this, we got a program that basically looks on all the platforms that the show is streamed on.
Yep.
And it syncs the comments from both show platforms. So you can see the timestamp of the very first person that came in.
Absolutely.
And so if you're wondering like, hey, I gave the number on Facebook and then you weren't selected, it's because somebody on YouTube got it before you did.
Yep. So we're watching, haven't got it yet. Number between 1 and 100 with the folks putting in their numbers here, just waiting. We got.
Oh, I see Jason Takeyoshi. He's online and inputting numbers. You know,
he's going after it.
We got a hard workout tomorrow morning, buddy. You better be ready for leg day. It's going to suck.
Better get your number in and get to bed. Yep. I don't have it yet here, boy.
I'm not seeing it.
It should not take this long.
There's only 100 numbers, folks.
Yep. There's only 100 numbers, folks. There's only 100 numbers, folks. Yep. No. Maybe we can get what? Maple time.
Well, should we go to break and continue the guessing?
They can keep guessing. Yeah. We're going to jump out to commercial break. We come back. Hopefully we can announce a winner. We get somebody on here. So keep it going, guys. We'll jump out to a quick break. We'll be back right here at Fish on Northwest. A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride right here in Bremerton, Washington. Arima Boats offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. With literally thousands of Arima boats on the water throughout the Pacific Northwest, Arima boats are a proven hull design that offers incredible fuel economy and all of the amenities that a serious angler is looking for. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Arima boats are designed to maximize deck space while also providing ample seating. Contact us today at Arima Boats for all your boating needs and let us help you get out on the water. All righty, welcome back in studio here, Fish on Northwest, waiting on Tommy O'Donnell here on St. Paddy's night. We're giving stuff away, and we had a winner. Who, Jordan? Tara. Tara.
And we're not sure how to say the last name. Is it Melanie?
Melanie, probably. So, yep. Tara, go ahead and message us up on Facebook or YouTube. We will get your information. Phone number is important so Shane can give you a call, and we'll get that item in the mail to you. Thanks for playing, everybody. We got a couple more commercial breaks that we'll get to later in the show. We are still giving stuff away. Appreciate everybody participating. So with that, our next guest on the phone in our backyard, presented by Phoenix Protective Corp. Check out everything they have going on at www.phoenixprotectivecorp.com. The first time to the show, Tommy. First time to the show.
That?
Yeah, Morgan Stinson, actually WDFW CFO. Huh?
Yeah.
CFO. Morgan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. A lot of folks are probably going, for crying out loud, it's a fishing, hunting talk show. Why are you guys talking to a CFO of WDFW? I mean...
Yeah, we want to learn about inflation and the value of the dollar.
We're actually going to drill down on this with Morgan tonight and get the long-term schedule built for fuel consumption and cost.
There we go.
Towards the end of tuna season, Tommy. So actually, we're gonna break it down with you tonight, Morgan. So 6 keys for WDFW budget that came out of our recent legislative session here, supplemental session. And there's some pretty interesting things in there. I think our viewers are going to be pretty happy to hear about. So one of the things, looking back year in and year out, we've talked budget here on this show a number of times over the last few years, and it always seems like WDFW never has enough money to get a lot of these programs off the shelf and implemented, boots on the ground, and make stuff happen. this now going into 2022 and into 23 seems like there may be some great opportunity to introduce some of these programs they've been trying to get off the shelf and implemented. Let's first of all talk about this $14.4 million for the Columbia River commercial permit buyback. Now, this was listed in Governor Inslee's $187 million ask going into this legislative session several months ago. It was one of the line items in there. Didn't know if it would happen, but it's one that he seems to want to see in there. Where'd we land on that Columbia River commercial volunteer buyback program?
Yeah. And I think as you know, we've been working on, allocation and gear issues in the Columbia for years. The governor sent us a letter last year in June saying, hey, I want to see a bunch of different options for what are we going to do to probably solve this. We sent, the WDFW sent over a menu of options in September along with our kind of budget request. And the governor instead went with that, $16.7 million number out of that 187, right? So really kind of a turbocharged buyback in there. And what we got out of that after we got through the legislative session is that the legislature kind of lowers that down to about $14.4 million for that kind of Columbia River commercial permit buybacks.
Is it one, do you think so one thing that he has in his hand is that ability to strike things from the budget. Now, I mean, I look at some of this stuff, Tommy and I were talking before the show, it's like, if he had put it in there in his $187 million ask going in, I don't see him striking some of this stuff out of there after the legislators have passed and given it an ample amount of money. Do you?
I hesitate to guess.
Sure.
We saw him veto a $2 million line item out of last year's budget. But with him, asking for it coming up and then picking an option that looks pretty similar to what the legislature has, I got to assume that it's less likely.
Interesting.
All right. Hey, Morgan, one of the things I was curious about, there's money that's being allocated to the Washington State Academy of Sciences, and this is in particular to study the mortality rate of commercial fishing gear and some of the alternative methods that we've heard of in the past, like, fish traps, pound nets, that kind of things. I'm curious, does this include gill nets, and is this line item being approved?
This line item is likely to be approved. It's in the conference budget. Washington State Academy of Sciences has got this funding, and it's exactly for, what you're talking about. What do we see conservation benefits or total kind of mortality rates for, all of that kind of commercial fishing gear. And, I think, if you talk to some of our scientists about it, we're like, well, hey, there's a lot of other things, potential for mortality, beyond just, what gets caught in the net right at that point. But I think this is good. It's going to further the science on some of the stuff and some of these questions we have.
Well, and Tommy and I look at this and go, this is important stuff because a lot of these fisheries have been monitored and managed on numbers from years ago, impact models that they run based on data from years ago. They haven't done any updates on this data. They haven't had the ability to put the money forward, put the persons in the positions, boots on the ground, so to speak, and go out there and actually acquire updated data to restructure their models and run the impacts on these fisheries. So if people don't understand how important this is that we're getting in the millions of dollars allocated to some of these particular programs, they just need to sit back and wait and see what the results are after they actually get this updated data, because I think it's going to change the way we manage some of our fisheries.
Well, yeah, and like you said, I mean, there's a lot of data on the sport fishing side of the house that we live and die by in terms of our fisheries,
Absolutely.
Right? The mortality rate of 11%, right? And then we all sit there and wonder, when we talk about, the broodstock program for steelhead in Oregon, and that mortality rate is 2%, we go like, well, wait a second here.
Where is it? Yeah.
And then you look at the commercial side of the house, and there's really, especially when it comes to the Columbia River, you really don't have any valid and vetted data, right? And so I think I'm excited to see what that data,
produces.
Produces and
absolutely,
brings, right?
yeah.
And I think it's going to do nothing but help the discussion about boosting hatcheries and improving hatchery production. So
I agree.
I'm excited 100%. About it.
It also sounds like, Morgan, that there's some money allocated for enforcement compliance. Looks like the numbers would be in around six or so officers added at various levels. And what does this program look like as far as really moving forward with enforcement? And you think this is one the governor will favor?
Yeah, absolutely. We only have about 150 enforcement officers total across the entire state. And so, maybe 6 doesn't sound like a lot to you, but it's a pretty big lift for us. And, hunters and anglers really work hard to follow the rules. And so in addition to kind of the enforcement officers, we're also getting a little additional funding to kind of prosecute the more egregious crimes that we have against, natural resources and some of that stuff too.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
One of the line items in there is money for hatcheries. We've got $2.2 million going to the Deschutes Center Watershed Hatchery in Olympia. And so you think about that number, $2.2 million. And from, the lay person or the bystander, you go, well, that's a lot of money, but is it a lot of money? I mean, what can they do with $2.2 million? And then, having a hatchery in the South Sound can have a huge impact on not just the South Sound, but the entire Puget Sound because of the amount of fish traveling, back and forth.
Sure.
And so can you tell us a little bit about that number and what can they do with that number? How many hatchery fish can be produced?
Yeah, they've moved around the site a little bit and they're fooling around with water, but I've been hearing as many as like 3 million Chinook or something like that.
Wow.
I'm not the hatchery guy, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But I bet he's listening right now and just like, oh, Morgan, don't you anyway. But,
well, he can get on here and message just like everybody else, so not a problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a big benefit for anglers and for southern resident orca whales.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of one of the drivers behind that. And as Tommy had said, any additional fish we can get out of South Puget Sound and get returned to South Puget Sound just builds the fishery all the way through Puget Sound. Northern Sound fish as well, Central Sound, and all the way down here at the bottom end. So that's all, nothing, no downside to any of this. Hopefully that goes through and we see an influx, an uptick on our ability to plant fish. So let's talk a little bit about a couple, looks like a couple $1 million enhanced for freshwater monitoring. Now, Tommy had mentioned this a little bit ago in our discussion here. He was kind of referring to some of the stumbling blocks we have in our freshwater fisheries. Just as of late, out there on the coast, we had a steelhead season once again close early when all the guides and a lot of folks were advocating that it stay open because they were stating and showing pictures and video all over social media. Haven't seen this many reds in these rivers. We had extreme low clear water, so they could definitely see a lot of red counts out there on the coastal streams in mid-February towards late February. And ultimately they closed the river. So one of the issues for WDFW is truly having persons in the field counting accurately the red counts, really taking in the scientific data that they need to manage these fisheries properly, and also creel sampling, freshwater creel sampling, Puget Sound waters at the marinas creel sampling. Let's talk a little bit about the monies going into that and what that's going to look like in the future.
Yeah, there's a lot on monitoring, and I don't know if I love the word monitoring. I don't think it sounds as cool as it is. To me, it's got a couple of benefits, right?
Yeah.
Because when we're getting all that data, what we're able to do is we're able to minimize sort of our take on all these listed species, right? Which is going to help us out, and then all of that helps protect and optimize the days that we get on the water, just like you're pointing out, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the boots on the ground piece. It's dozens of additional FTEs, for spawner surveys and creel surveys. We've got stuff in the Puget Sound, out on the coast, on the peninsula. There's millions of dollars in the governor's kind of salmon bundle around this monitoring piece, and so it's a big lift as well.
I like it.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal. So one of the things that's being tossed around in here is the implementation of electronic licensing. Mm-hmm. And, I fish in Florida as well. I absolutely love my Florida electronic license. It's so simple. It's so easy. I can also find the regulations there electronically. Mm-hmm. And it's just a phenomenal tool. Tell us about that implementation. How's that going to work? And then do you know anything about, you have an emergency rule change? Is this going to be a tool that provides that, or is this just the license and the catch card?
So this is a couple of pieces. So this is the the license and catch record card, and sort of the, I think we technically might have had the opportunity to go electronic on a couple of these, but this really kind of clarifies that authority for the commission, especially around inspection authority, right? For like display and presentation for enforcement officers. We're really looking for that. On top of that, there's a few $100,000 in here for the actual implementation, right? We want to buy that software and kind of bring that around, and we'll finally be able to kind of move into the 21st century. You'll see stuff like you might see if you were in Oregon, right, where they've already got some of their mobile stuff set up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it.
I got one more question. So they, you're the money guy. You're the CFO.
He is the CFO.
He's the CFO.
Yep.
And by the way, it's chief financial officer, not certified. But
did I say certified?
I'll let you slide on that. He's probably been certified too. So
I was reading so many different pages here. Yeah, chief. Yeah, so, sorry to demote you. Yes.
I'll answer to both. No worries.
Yeah. Okay.
So
perfect.
People. There's often a lot, especially when it comes to money. There's a lot of contention, right? And there's always rumors about, when we pay our license fee, where does this money go? Does it go to a general fund? Does it go to a politician rainy day slush fund? Like, where does it actually get used? We know it doesn't get used to, fill any of the potholes in the state, but that's okay. Right. Can you kind of help dispel that rumor? And where did the funds go from our licenses? How are they used?
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the funds from our licenses go to, our fishing licenses mostly go to fishing, and our hunting licenses mostly go towards hunting. And, what we actually see in this budget, right, is that all of this funding, that $187 million, that the governor had for salmon, that was actually all what we call general fund state, right? Mm-hmm. That's revenue from sales tax mostly. We haven't had a license increase in over a decade, but we're seeing all of these new investments in the agency and in our work. And I think that's really exciting because, like you, it's kind of showing that the governor and the legislature, really value what we do. And one of the things that they're seeing is that they're seeing kind of a return on that investment, right? The agency has an opportunity to generate revenue, in the state as well. And, we like to think that we do an ROI of about 250 to 300% on every dollar that gets sent towards the agency. So this is not, all of these increases that we're talking about, you're hearing me get excited about some of these dollar amounts and some of this new work that we're going to take on. But that is all coming out of that state general fund piece.
No, that's phenomenal. And if I heard you correctly, Morgan, I think what you said is that your team actually does an evaluation of the economic impact of our fisheries and our hunting within the state of Washington. Did I get that correct?
That's right. And, my team takes an attempt at it, but we've actually got kind of an older study from the Department of Revenue that backs that up as well. Oh. They're pretty clever over there.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. Hey, we're getting a handful of questions in here that persons are very interested in some things going on. I read through a lot of the line items in that budget. I may not have got to all of them, but is there any monies being allocated for culling of sea lions or anything getting moved towards continuing the efforts on control of the saltwater predation issue, both avian and pinnipeds? Anything in there about that?
There was a proviso that popped up for avian predation, but that did not make it through the conference budget. So, we will maybe see some more work on doing some study and trying to figure out, what the options are for avian predation. And we received, last session, some funding for pinniped predation, where we're studying that. We got about half of what we asked for, and it's time to go back and see if we can figure out, hey, can we continue this study, can keep that work moving, or not? And we'll look for that next session.
Well, yeah, it's not complicated math by any means, which is good because I'm a simple man. But if we're going to spend all this money and continue to ask for and at times receive the ability to plant more hatchery fish, if the Orca Task Force is going to lend its hand on our ability to plant more hatchery fish, especially Chinook, and we just keep feeding the eating machine out there that is the pinniped population of all different sizes and shapes, and do nothing to mitigate their interception of both outmigrant smolt and returning adults, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, habitat's an important issue. It's receiving tons of funding and a lot of eyes on that. I just think this state needs to get much more aggressive on our pinniped, control problem that we have. And I mean, we know you're not the guy to make that decision.
Well, no, wait a second. Morgan's the money guy.
He is the money guy.
Now I have a business proposal.
Oh, here you go.
That would come in the way of tags, right?
Yeah.
You want to go hunt, a trophy elk in eastern Washington. You want to hunt a branch antler bull.
Sure.
It may take you 20 years to draw the tag. So you put in every year for a tag, and finally you draw this tag. There could be a tag system allotted for California sea lions, right? And a point system, and people can draw. It could be a really good money generator. And I bet you could make these tags. I bet you could make them upwards of 10 grand.
You really trust the guy 100 yards away from you with a rifle and a boat that's pitching and rolling?
You could see this is
and your boat's out there on the water, right?
You could hire a controlled team of professionals,
right,
to take an individual
houndsman. Let's hire houndsmen.
No, let's make it even better. You have to have a qualified hunting guide.
Sure.
Okay. To go.
Oh,
how about that?
There you go. An outfitter.
The state can hire a couple employees. They can
say,
outfitter. Hey, here's how this program works. They're certified.
We're going off the track.
Go.
Here. I love it. Morgan, Stinson, it's been a pleasure. Any final thoughts, any final words you want to let our viewers know? A lot of good content you covered here. It gives guys like Tommy and I hope that we have some serious money coming to the WDFW coffers, and we hope that these programs, prove themselves a year or two down the road here.
Yeah, absolutely. Natural resources does not always get a ton of funding in Washington State. So this is a pretty good year for the department, and we're pretty excited. And we're gonna put our gloves on and start doing all this new work.
Yeah, fantastic. Beautiful. Well, appreciate you taking the time this evening. I know you're off the clock, so we appreciate you jumping on the show here, educating our folks as to what is going on with some of this money. It's important stuff. And don't be a stranger. There's more money talk with WDFW where that came from. So don't be surprised when I call you up again.
Thank you much.
All right. Thanks, have Morgan. A good night. Thank you. Morgan Stinson, CFO. Stands for what, Tommy?
Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you. Yes. I demoted him right here on the show. You see that? I just took his chief badge and threw it in the trash. All right. It's giveaway time. We have another giveaway. Numbers between 1 and 100. We'll watch it for about 30 seconds here. Then we'll go to break, much like last time. Alpine green hunting logo hoodie. Tommy, it's one of your favorites. Got our elk print on there.
This guy right
Yeah,
here.
We got that. That's in the bigger boy sizes. Large, extra large, 2XL if you're so inclined. But numbers between 1 and 100. Looking for that number to get you.
I love that logo.
Isn't that a great logo?
Yeah.
Especially if you're an elk hunter. How can you not like that one? And we're giving stuff away tonight, folks. So, get on here. Get your friends on here. Hopefully they can win for themselves or for you. Okay, looks like we got a winner, Jim.
Jim who?
What was the number, Jordan?
Jim Hansen.
51, that's right, number 51. So Jim Hansen. All right, with that, we are going to jump out for a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's going to roll you right into our recent outing over at Lake Roosevelt with our buddy Troy Black, Blacky's Guide Service. It was a pretty darn good day. We were in pursuit of those trophy kokanee, Tommy, but they're kind of the elusive unicorn right now. But nonetheless, with Troy running his planer boards and his program, he spells it all out for you. If you have any desire to get over there and fish Lake Roosevelt, especially this time of year, and as we roll into spring, and the fishing is just going to keep getting better and better. If you want to start dialing in your planer board program, want to understand what that's all about and how you do that, this is a great video for you to watch. We walk you right on through the process. And Matt Messing got him on fresh water.
Right on.
Huh?
Probably been a while since he's done that.
Yeah, and he was actually enjoying himself because, one, he wasn't having to run the boat. Two, he's just either reeling in fish or running camera, and we're just switching back and forth. So it's a great little segment. Don't go anywhere. Jump out for a quick break. Jim, make sure you get your info to us here on Facebook or YouTube so we can send you what it is you won, and we'll take care of that as the week progresses. Don't go anywhere. Jumping out for a quick break. Coming back with the Lake Roosevelt Triploid trout with Troy Black right here at Fish on Northwest. Allied boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Deep V 21-degree dead rise at the transom guarantees a smooth ride no matter the conditions. Allied offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Allied boats range from 19 to 32 foot in length, so no matter what type of heavy gauge boat you are looking for, we have it for you. All of our Corsair 21 foot and larger designs come standard with reverse chine that is welded inside and out with no extrusions below the waterline, so that you will never have to worry about corrosion problems down the road. Get out on the water today in a boat that you can trust and enjoy with Allied Boats. Contact us at Allied Boats today to learn much more about our incredible fishing machines.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
Hi, we're Joe and Megan Malico, owners of Archery World up here in Lacey.
We're a full pro shop, so we have a full pro service also. We have a huge indoor range. We carry 11 bow lines, all the major bow lines, and then there's subsidiary companies too, like if we carry Bowtech, we carry Diamond. If we carry Matthews, we carry Mission.
When you come in, we're going to ask you, what kind of price point you're looking for. What's your hope, what's your goals, what's your bow, and with that information in mind, we'll point you in the direction of, that price point bows, and then maybe give you the option to test fire, maybe a higher level bow, just so you can compare. But it really is all about getting what it is that's going to work for you.
We don't upsell anyone. They shoot it, they like it, they don't like it, they don't get it. We don't operate like that. And so if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
I'm trying. You moved the net. Okay. Bring her in. Another rainbow. It's got it. 2 blend.
There you go, buddy. You fish one net. Those are nice rainbows, man.
Big bows. Those are big
Those are nice sized fish.
Both keepers.
Okay. Well, there you go. We made it. We're here on the east side, Lake Roosevelt. Take a look at this, Matt. So, have you been here before?
First time ever.
Okay. Well, there you go. We are here to meet up with our buddy Troy Black, Blacky's Guide Service, and we are going after those trophy kokanee. I've been over here a few times in my own boat. It's always great to take opportunity, check out a professional's program over here. These fish can be a little finicky and hard to find. Troy's one of the guys that has it dialed, and we've been trying to put this trip together for a while. So we are here, a couple days of fishing. Sun is out, 29 degrees. Let's go catch some kokanee. All right, well, here we are, the man himself, Troy Black.
Morning, how are you?
I'm great, buddy. How are you?
Good. Good to see you guys.
I noticed you didn't really warm it up for us.
No, Mother Nature's got a 6 sense of humor for March.
You got anything frozen on the boat here?
Everything's frozen.
Everything's frozen.
The name of the game.
Yeah.
just fine, right? It's $1, better than 150 or whatever.
Right.
So he about 3 weeks later for Christmas, he calls me up, says, hey, come to the house. I got something for you. So he made me these boards.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and he says, if I'm gonna have a friend out here running big boards,
yeah,
we're gonna run them right.
Gotcha.
So, okay. So these are his boards?
What's this, what's that midpoint on there for? What's that do?
So this, it's just because I'm short.
Oh.
When I'm putting gear on, I can just grab it.
Grab it, that's just a pull down.
Yeah, it's just a hillbilly deal.
No. I like it.
Redneck.
How far you typically run these out, Troy?
We're gonna run these today about 100 feet or so out. And we're gonna run 2 rods on each board.
Yeah.
The fish are up in the top 10 feet of water.
Okay.
And what makes the boards effective is as we come through the fish will scatter.
Right.
They scatter from the boat, and then the theory is that as they swim around the boat, they swim into this gear.
Pretty aggressive bend in those Dodgers.
Yeah.
Right?
I do, because we're fishing so slow. We're fishing down, you know, like 1.2, 1.4, 1.5.
So you want more action on that, right?
Yeah, I want more kick at a slower speed, so I put a pretty good bend in them.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like in the water. How much?
Yeah. So you're gonna grab this one here. We'll put the boards out first, and then we'll put the riggers on. 2 tablespoons of Shane's krill. 2 tablespoons of his coconut. And that's simple stuff. And you can see that's it. That's at 1 mile an hour. So you can see there. You want that? So we're gonna go. Let's go 50 feet right now, and we're gonna put a little sinker on to keep it down, and then we're gonna be 100 feet off the board today. This seemed to be a good distance yesterday, so we're getting low.
Once you go 50 feet, then you clip on a where?
That just keeps it under the surface.
Yeah.
Okay, go to 100.
How much weight is that?
That there is, that's a quarter.
Quarter ounce.
Yeah.
50 feet back. Okay.
So, and I've got, you know, just depending on how deep they are, you can go 1/8 ounce, quarter ounce, 3/8, a full ounce.
Yeah.
You'll see is this is lagging. The wind's pushing us just a little bit on the. It's pushing us off the shelf here.
Did you say 100?
Yeah, 100. Yeah. Okay, this is the cheating process. Slide her all the way down. It works so good.
Now when a fish hits that, just pulls out of that clip, right?
Yeah, a lot of times the kokanee and the red band, they'll grab that and they'll rip it out of the clip. The triploids, they're a lot lazier fish. Sometimes you'll have to pop it out. I kind of compare it to fishing coho versus fishing chinook.
There you go.
The coho just slam it.
Well, Troy, look at this. Throw the winds died down a little.
Yep.
Boards are running really nice. Got a good spacing out here. We're gonna end up. We get this one out. We'll have 6 rods out.
Yeah, we'll run 6 rods today, 2 on each board.
Yeah.
So you know they're over 100 feet out there. So you know the boat's 110 inches wide.
Yeah.
125 on each side. You can cover a lot of water.
Yeah, and like you're saying, you know, the boat goes across. These fish are up shallow. You're not even marking fish on the finder, and it pushes them out. And then lo and behold, they get out behind the boat. Our setbacks are, you know, 50 and then 100 and clipping in. And yeah, there's definitely an art to this. You don't just come out here and do this. So.
And you know that is the funny thing about, you know, you come to the boat launch or you talk to people, and they're this time of year, people get frustrated because they're not marking any fish.
Right.
Well, you're not going to mark any fish. No, damn it, those are.
Yeah.
Because the fish are so shallow, they're scattered.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
Looks like fish on. Oh, that one's on there. I think we got a fish on there.
I think there's a fish there, Dory.
Yeah, I think there is. And we got to let it.
Oh,
downrigger rod.
We got downrigger rod.
Downrigger rod, Troy. Ooh, that's gonna be a kokanee. That's gonna be a kokanee.
You guys can net your own fish. I'll video.
Okay. All right. We got a double. Good way. Matt, you might have a kokanee on there. Wouldn't that be great? This first fish out here in Roosevelt's a 22-inch kokanee.
Oh yeah. See if we can do this and not drop your.
I can net my fish.
Let's see how good you are.
I'm trying. He moved the net.
Okay. Bring her in.
Another rainbow. He's got it. 2 blend.
There you go, buddy.
2 fish, 1 net.
2 fish, 1 net. Those are nice rainbows,
Those
man.
are big bows. Those are big
Those are nice sized fish.
Both keepers.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, buddy. Nicely done.
Look at that. You think you wanted that one?
Oh, you inhaled that thing.
Much.
You reeled very well.
Yes, I do. There you go. That's a decent sized triploid out here, right, Troy?
Yeah, that's about average. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What you got there, Matthew?
Ooh, I think I got a kokanee.
Oh, I guess we'll find out.
Whatever it is, it's big.
Yeah.
It's very big. It was pulling pretty
It's
good.
very big.
It's large.
Oh, that thing's tugging. Nice.
It could be a big red band too, but
Yeah.
he drifted out of the cliff.
That's a good fish.
He's shaking his head like that.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at him out there going.
Oh yeah.
Foreshore. Look at
Oh.
him. Oh, you know what? Now I don't know. That tail was a little.
Yeah, it looked like a rainbow.
Yeah, it looked like a rainbow. Had a square tail. Right here.
Yeah, it did grab that other gear.
Start backing up. There we go. We got it.
Weights off. Oh, looks like the other one dropped off too. Good. Nice.
Oh, hello. That's a big bow.
That is a big bow.
That is a huge bow.
Let's hope it's a head.
That's a still hit. In some places.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
That is a big fish.
There you go. Oh, it's a real fish and it's going bad. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, look at that beauty.
Again.
That's a beauty.
F3.
No time with him. He needs to go back in.
He's a head thumper.
That's a head shaker right there.
Uh-oh.
Look at that guy go.
Might be a good sign.
Could be a kokanee.
Could be.
I like it. And this one's on a downrigger. Maybe at 10 feet?
No, we were at 9 feet. We marked fish at 20 and went down to 17.
Oh, you did?
Chased him.
You just dropped it.
Gotcha. Like, we chased him. He's like, yeah, let's go chase him.
Okay.
Okay.
Do that.
You know, just trying to make him feel a little, you know, better.
Yeah.
More like he's back home.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over there enjoying big news. You know.
We're all going to enjoy big news.
Yeah, you should. Those are good for you. Yeah.
Big red band. See how good you are.
There you go.
Big.
Look at that guy on that horn.
3 in
That's
wild
a good
lures.
sized one right there.
Don't have to dig him out.
I like it.
Where's the next one at?
Ooh, yeah.
Big old rainbow.
There, now he's fighting. Got him out,
I got it.
Oh,
He's a big old piggy.
yeah, dude.
He's up here. eating clams.
You keep it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a
nice one.
That's a toad.
He says, "Good morning." I can't get my dude. I can't even get my hand around him.
What size that one, man?
Dude, that's a nice trout.
Huh?
Look at that thing.
Heck yeah.
And they will cut
as red as the kokanee.
Yeah.
Yep.
This lead rod has just been consistent. That fly you got on here for these rainbows and a worm. I mean, it kind of gives you a gauge all day long, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna pull a rainbow every so often and let you know that they're still biting or whatnot. But
And if it just lets me know fish are around.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how big the fish is on this because of that weight of that leaded line. Oh, look at that.
That's a hog. That's a big fish.
And hardly doing anything because it's so cold.
So cold, he just like
He just kind of comes in and until you get it in here.
Oh yeah, look at that beauty.
Now that's a full-on wild going back.
That's a wild fish, yeah.
Yep. Get that out of his tongue. There we go.
That's pretty.
That's gorgeous. Yep. Healthy fish.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, get one. Clams and the shrimp and all sorts of crap in there.
Eating freshwater clams. Yeah, they do eat clams.
That's those fish that were up in there shallow?
Yeah. But you know what's interesting, Troy, is people say fish don't look down. Well, clams ain't exactly above them.
Yeah.
Right? So
these are triploids. It's like taking a fat kid to a donut shop. He's gonna eat anything he wants. He will look down.
Opportunistic, yeah. They're not gonna let bait go by them on the ground.
No, they were put on this earth to eat.
Talk about why these trout are so red. I mean, you expect the kokanee to be red, but these triploids are every bit as red as these kokanee.
Yeah. Well, you'll see. I think what makes this fishery so good is the amount of feed that's in the lake.
Yeah.
It's just the freshwater shrimp is just tons of it. And those, that's a trout.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Yep.
And they're
quality.
And you can see, look at the fat line in there, right through here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just fat. You can see them in the meat.
Well, sir, you didn't ever warm the day up. I mean,
it stayed cold all day.
This little breeze, right? And credit to you. I mean, tucking us in on some of those little areas that we could get out from the wind, so we could run those side planers and stay on top of the fish. And you know, I think what do you think? We had maybe one good kokanee on today.
We had one kokanee on for sure.
Everything up to that, I mean, it was like it took it out of the clip. It was rolling at the surface. Well, then it came off, so you know it's a kokanee.
Yeah,
right? So,
it did everything a kokanee was supposed to do.
Right. But you
Except
know,
stay by.
Yeah, talk about these triploids, man. I tell you what, meat's extremely red. They fight pretty darn good for 37-degree water.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a cold water fishery this time of year, right?
Yeah, it normally is in the low 40s, so it's about 5 or 6 degrees cooler than it usually is right now.
Talk about the reservoir drawdown. That's pretty typical this time of year.
Yeah.
Bring it down this far.
Yep. And then they bring it down for 2 reasons.
Mm-hmm.
1, to work on the dam.
Yep.
And then 2, in preparation for runoff. Depending on how much snow we have in Canada.
Yeah.
And North Idaho.
Yeah, which eventually finds its way down. You know, we get towards the latter part of the Springer Run and the lower river, below Bonneville. We can have those pretty high influx of water and humidity can increase and all that. I mean, what happens up here definitely transitions to that lower river at some point. Right. So making room for that water and that snowmelt that's coming. And then we'll look forward to getting the boat over here, you know, March, April, into May, that May, June. I love coming over here May, June. And fish kind of move to different locations and whatnot, but still able to come out and try to find some of these trophy kokanee in May and June, huh?
True.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be it. And then they're just, as they continue to drop the lake, it pushes the feed down to that bottom 10 to 12 miles into the lake, and the fish just continue to migrate through. And like we said today, they're not schooled up.
Yeah.
You hit one here, you hit one over there, you find one over here, and they're just migrating.
Perfect.
So,
good thing you put all that sunscreen on today. You would have been fried.
Oh, I know. I think Noah was
good.
wrong. It's supposed to be sunny and 50 today.
Looking good, Casper.
Am I still Casper?
Yeah. No worries. Hey, I want to thank you, man. Great day one. We're going to come out here again tomorrow and try to do this again. See if we can't find one of those trophy kokanee. So, okay, with that, I'm going to pop out of here for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Well, there you go, Thomas. While you were sun-basting yourself over there in the Hawaiian Islands, I was working my tail off in the 29-degree temps.
There you go. Those are some healthy trout.
Very healthy trout. You know, they got high fat quality to them, and just, well, you saw them. They're right here in the back room, getting ready to go in the smoker on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
Either smoked or on the pellet grill. I'm telling you, good, healthy, fat triploid like that are hard to beat. These aren't. So I'm getting asked here, Rufus or Roosevelt. Understand the difference. These fish are pen raised for a certain amount. They're released when they're about 10 inches, okay? The Rufus Woods, completely different operation in that they're pellet fed for their duration of their life, and then there's a percentage of those that are purchased by WDFW each year from Pacific Seafoods, and then those are released into the reservoir for recreational opportunity, and that's why those trout look like they've pile drove into a wall at 90 miles an hour and it somehow ended up shorter and stouter, right? So these fish over there won't have the enormous engorged bellies and whatnot because they're truly foraging for their own protein sources. And as you saw when Troy cleaned those fish, they have clams. They eat a ton of the mysis shrimp in the water certain times of the year and you know, the key here right now is they're drawing down the lake, as you heard him allude to numerous times when we've had these discussions. A lot of the feed gets drawn down. Days where the wind's really blowing, you know, which side of the lake are you going to fish? Well, which direction is the wind blowing, right? The food is going to congregate over there in these bays and these inlets, and then the trout tend to show up as well. So it can be a little difficult for some. Troy's got it pretty dialed. I've had good success over there on days with trout and days with kokanee, and that day the kokanee pretty much eluded us. But the difference is on these trout, I mean, Rufus, Roosevelt is more of a troll fishery. There's different techniques, as we have proven over there at Rufus. And we talked to Sam Baird, who has a totally different game over there with a few of the guys that are, you know, drifting floats. And it's just a different animal. It's one of those ones, you go over there, you put time on the water, try different techniques, and see what works. These fish this time of year, as pointed out in the video, very shallow in the water column. Planer boards and, you know, long setbacks, 150 feet behind the boat. If you're fishing directly out the back of the boat, is going to be to your advantage. And, you know, quality fish. Can only keep the hatchery ones. Easy to recognize which ones are hatchery as they are clipped or they're missing a front pectoral fin. But all in all, just a great opportunity. Take a heater, enjoy the day. If it's not windy, you're going to have dry conditions in a really good opportunity. Yeah, and a number of guys getting on here saying, hey, it looked like a lot of fun and a trip definitely to go do. Absolutely. It's one of those opportunities. If the pass is clear, you get a weather window, drag the boat over there. We launched at Spring Canyon, ran up the lake to that Swawilla area. It's no secret. And there's just, you know, there's maybe 4 other boats out there.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really not that crowded. And the fishing's just going to keep getting better, right? It really is just going to keep getting better. And right now, the big thing going on over there at Rufus, too, if you're so inclined, and at Roosevelt, in certain areas, you got to go up lake a little further. But Rufus is really good right now for walleye. Walleye fishery is really cranking over there for a handful of folks. And that's one we're hoping to bring to you here shortly if we can get back over there. So just a lot of great opportunity, quality fish over on that east side. If you're thinking about doing it, you know, and you got questions, hit us up. Always messages up here, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We try to answer as many questions as we can to help you guys out. That's why we provide this information week in and week out. Okay, we got a couple good things coming up to close out the show, Tommy. But before we get there, We have another giveaway.
Another giveaway.
Another giveaway. We're giving away a alpine green with, nope. We're giving away a camo hat or a beanie. Giving away one of the camel hats or a beanie with the Jinglin Jig t-shirt. Jordan didn't know he's giving up one of his shirts, but I threw that in last minute. So we got a Jinglin Jig, army green, and or we also have with that a camel hat or a beanie. Numbers between 1 and 100. We're going to let that roll for a little bit here. Somebody hits that before we jump out to break, we'll go ahead and call that out. If not, we'll get it when we come back from break. So I like the way JR is starting off. 31, 32, 33. Yeah, not quite there yet. And I don't see it as of yet.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, we're going to jump out for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We come back. Got a couple bits of information relative to salmon numbers. And of course, then we're also going to roll out a quick tutorial on our Raymarine with Mike Surdick out there on the water here just a couple weeks ago. So stay tuned. Almost to the end here. A couple more items to give away. We'll jump out for a quick break. We'll be back right here. Fish Hunt Northwest. Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. Defiance boats feature a 21 to 22 degree dead rise at the transom and a large reverse chine for incredible handling and stability offshore. Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Defiance boats feature fuel-efficient hull designs with large fuel tank capacity so that you can have maximum fuel range for making long offshore runs completely safe and affordable. All Defiance boats come standard with self-bailing decks for improved safety while at sea. Defiance Boat offers all our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Defiance Boats for all your boating needs, and let us help you get out on the water.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our clients' security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
All right, welcome back in studio here. Dwayne England and Tommy O'Donnell on the final leg of the tour here this evening, buddy. Huh? The ever disappearing O'Donnell.
Yeah, getting there.
Hey, we got a winner, Jordan. After that prior to that last break. Kent Arola. Yes, Kent Arola. You win a hat or beanie and the Jinglin Jig t-shirt. Send me your info, mister, and we will get that stuff shipped out to you as soon as we can later on in the week. So, Tommy, as you know, spent a little time recently with Mike Surdick on the water. Raymarine sales rep, West Coast, entire West Coast. He is the man in the know. And I tell you, if you get an opportunity to get him on your boat, right, because he loaded my boat with so much stuff, I finally had to say, hey, I don't think some of this stuff is quite synced up yet. I'm doing what I can dockside here, but I think I need some updates. I need some, somebody to walk me through a couple of these things. If you can pin him down, because he's so busy when he's not fishing, it's an extremely valuable and time spent on the water. So Matt and I went out, took the boat up there last week, whatever, and I also told him I'm bringing the cameras because we're going to take opportunity to video some of these step-by-step processes to get you all dialed in on what it is your Raymarine sounder and your sonar and your side and down scan and your, if you have
all
radar.
Of the different functions.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and you got my autopilot all squared away. So that Mustang, that 21-foot Mustang Allied is ready to go now, so I'm pretty excited. That being said, we are taking the time to shoot these short segment tutorials, building that small library that is all Raymarine. And this is part 2 that we completed here the other day. Very insightful. Take a look at this and you'll understand what we're talking about. Hey guys, Dwight England here on the water with buddy Mike Surdick, West Coast sales rep for Raymarine. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Good day on the water.
It's a great day to get on the water. We got a fish in the box, thanks to our buddy Matt. But hey, got you out here because we're gonna walk through some different steps and things we can do with our Raymarine electronics.
Yeah.
Kind of help you guys out when it comes to just dialing in certain things. You get a ton of phone calls, questions all the time.
Yep.
And so we're gonna create a library of sorts, a small library of these tutorial, quick little insightful how-tos.
Yeah.
And we're gonna bring that to you right now.
All right, guys, another big question we talk about at sonar, right, is whether you're running a structure scan, a real vision, down vision transducer, going into an Axiom or an Axiom Pro, also running a bigger 1 kilowatt transducer, chirp or non-chirp, and then how to run those together in conjunction so that you're really understanding underwater the different bathymetrics, as well as marking fish under the boat, to the side of the boat. And here I've got a split screen. I've got a split screen with our high chirp frequency that's running our 1 kilowatt transducer, and then on the right side I've got our RV100 transducer that's running the down vision frequency. So together we're painting a picture under the boat that's just massive, right? We're seeing under the boat, we're seeing to the side of the boat, and so here using our traditional cone, right, we're looking at about a 60-foot circle underneath the boat. On our side vision, we're 45 degrees out to the side, right? So the center line right here, that's the fulcrum of the boat, and that's looking out to the port side, and that's looking out to the starboard side. This is a great trick for guys that are, you know, looking for bait, looking for fish, you know, different structure, trying to understand if the bottom's a gravelly sand or if it's a bigger rock style bottom. And what's really neat is when we're trolling here and we see bait or fish marked off to the port or starboard side that we would have missed running the traditional chirp sonar, right? So for instance, we did mark something over here. If I saw something and I wanted to mark it, I could press and hold right there where I marked fish or bait and hit place a waypoint, and I can add my waypoint and then resume. That waypoint right there is going to save out to my port side and on my charts. So if I was trolling and I wanted to go circle back through there, I could come up over here on my chart page and it would show me the waypoint I just placed right there behind the boat, right off to our starboard side. So kind of a cool feature. I use these two frequencies a lot. You know, what we're talking about here is our sense of awareness underwater, right? What's going on underwater to our sides, and really, you know, allowing us to see fish. If I spend a fair amount of time in an area and I'm not marking fish on my chirp or my side vision, I'm making a move. I'm making an adjustment and heading to a new spot. So, and you can do that with the same as with the down vision frequency. Right, I use this a lot for lingcod fishing, for rockfish, halibut. It's just going to give you a little bit clearer representation of the bottom. You're going to see fish a little bit differently here. You're going to see a big cloud of bait or the fish mark, and they're going to show up as little dots on your structure scan and side vision, down vision frequency. So really cool to use those together. With having an Axiom Pro chart plotter, it has 2 transducer ports so that you can run both of them at the same time. And yeah, very cool feature.
Well, there you go, Thomas. Insightful and to the point.
Yeah,
Surdick can do this stuff in his sleep.
Oh,
right?
Surdick's great, man. This is his realm, and it's just he's so dialed in. with all the functions. I mean, there's a million functions on these things.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the fact that we're walking through them now one by one, I mean, people are going to get a lot of value out of this series.
Yeah, we're going to continue to do them, and we'll continue to do them on my boat, your boat, whatever, and just keep building the library, because it helps us in good refresher, and it helps persons tuning in to just dial that in, and hopefully you see all the options you have with the Raymarine components, and ultimately when it's time to buy new gear, you're going to take a look, because you're already going to understand a lot of the workings of it. So more of those to come with Mike and you and myself for sure. A couple things of note as we move forward in the North of Falcon process, Tommy. There's a number of meetings that are already put out there that you can certainly find on the internet. Go to WDFW and look under news and or one of the other links, and it'll take you right to the breakdown of NOF. You can also just simply Google WDFW NOF schedule. It's going to pop up. Some things, March is pretty busy. We got a couple weeks left here, just shy of. The 21st, we got the Grays Harbor fishery discussion. Wednesday, the 23rd, we're jumping out to the North Coast and Straits, Hood Canal. Thursday, the 24th, Willapa. The 28th would be Puget Sound and freshwater sport discussion. And then by the 30th, we are North of Falcon 2 statewide. North of Falcon 1 was actually yesterday, and that's where this information was generated with options 1, 2, and 3 for ocean fisheries. So we'll be into North of Falcon 2 statewide fishery proposals, and that's, you take all these small subcommittee meetings and they put it all out there, and then they come back at the larger level and they really start dissecting it and building these seasons. If you want to see what that process is about on any of these fisheries I just listed, if that's in your backyard and that's one that you often go after, it's pretty simple anymore. These meetings are pretty much virtual, and so you click on the link. You once again go ahead and ask for an invitation or register for it. They send you an email with the time and the link to their Zoom. You click on that. If you're working, driving a piece of machinery or something, just want to plug in your earbuds and listen to what's going on. I mean, this gives you access to these meetings where a lot of us over the years were frustrated because the meetings are during the week. During the week, I have to work. I can't. I can't just drop everything.
Closed door. I can't go.
You can't go to these meetings. So now, if you want to understand the discussions that go on and how our fisheries seasons are built and why they're managed the way they are, this is if you got the time, might as well pay attention to see what really goes on there. Some of you are going to definitely find them boring, I guarantee it. But if you're interested in how they build the numbers and the models, this is the meetings for you.
Well, and kudos also to the guys. Huge thank you to guys like Dave Johnson, Ron Garner, Puget Sound Anglers, the guys that are there fighting for sport fishing, fighting to get us on the water, and really representing us. So thank you guys for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a host of numbers out there in all these different fisheries, but we're going to forego going through what they've projected on a lot of these fisheries. We just know there's 1.2 million coho coming back, Columbia and whatnot. The ocean fisheries are going to look good. Got some great opportunities. Coastal fisheries should be strong. I'm always curious as to where we land as we get towards the end of this thing, what our bag limits are going to be. Will some of these fisheries give us a potential of a 2-fish limit? Is it going to be back to that type of numbers? We haven't seen that in years and a lot of things, excluding, of course, some of the current Blackmouth fisheries going on as of late. That being said, as we roll into our late summer and what we really look at as a fall fishery, we haven't had 2-fish bag limits for quite some time, depending. So I'll be curious to see where all this comes out. So, all right, O'Donnell, any final words?
Happy St. Patty's Day.
There you go. With that, we're going to call it a night. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We will get those prizes shipped out within the week. Just make sure we make contact with you via our Facebook or YouTube. You can even message us up over at our webpage, www.fishhuntnw.com. Tommy, we'll be back in studio next week, 6 p.m. Thursday, live as we are each and every week with relevant content and updated information for you all. Have a great week. Be safe. Go out there and get something done. And we will see you back here next Thursday. Have a great night.